Welcome back to the Morning Brew. I'm Robert Dumas. Now we're in the final stretch and more in my comfort zone. We're talking sport, more specifically the CPL, the Caribbean Premier League, the biggest party in sport. How much party is going on at the moment? More indoors, more in person, as persons, be very careful and very safe and social distance and watch the cricket from home. We now are joined by no stranger to you, Ryan Bates, one of my colleagues. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good, Robert. I like how you put that. It's a very, very quiet party this year. Very, very quiet in Taruba.
Yeah. So tell me some of the things that you're hearing. We know that one of our colleagues, Vinod Mamchan, is down there, and we've heard from some of the cricketers as well as it pertains to the sense that they're getting down there with not actually seeing the fans.
Yeah, I get that, and that's a concern that you've raised that a lot of cricketers have as well with regards to the fans. Really, I was talking to someone this week, and they say that they really feed off the adrenaline of the crowd, the energy of the crowd. And I mean, you know that you've been at several CPL matches when the crowd really starts screaming and chanting your name, you feed off that energy, and it's something that the players have been saying that they've been missing for this year's tournament. Nonetheless, I thought that we had a really good start to this tournament. I thought the quality of cricket to the start of this tournament was really good. And I say that a little bit surprisingly, mostly because many of these guys haven't played cricket for a very long time. Yeah. They haven't been in action for about, 3-4 months? But they've been doing extremely well. I think the matches have been extremely competitive. Trinbago Knight Riders look perhaps the best team after just 4 days, but it's way too early in the tournament to say that any team can win this tournament just yet. But Trinbago Knight Riders, if you base it on the first 4 days, they look the best.
Yeah, we saw some really, I always love to see the hero maximums there. You mentioned Trinbago Knight Riders, and of course, as we put that into the fans and the 7 days that, we hear, Darren Sammy talking about the possible home advantages, and of course, the additional training that that's perceived that the TKR got. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, we see TKR have back-to-back wins, especially against the Jamaica Tallowers last night.
I get that, but I'm not too sure, I'm not too sure that was any type of advantage at all. Besides, I must tell you that I did speak to the Caribbean Premier League's Chief Medical Officer. That's Dr. Akshay Mansingh from Jamaica. And he made it very clear to me. He said, one, it's not really an advantage. And two, it's not so much that it was only TKR players playing, because we have a lot of Caribbean cricketers living here in Trinidad and Tobago. They were also practicing before the tournament. So I'm not so sure that it was an advantage per se. And with regards to Darren Sammy's comments, I guess a lot of people have left it at that, and I think that's the best thing to do, to be honest. I really don't think there was any advantage.
I want to read something for you that our good friend Tony Gray said, and it's in the back page of the Guardian under Plain Talk, where he said he spoke about you give the people just 47 runs to chase, and they have all 11 batsmen to achieve that. This method is not good for this short format. They need to rethink this and probably allow only 5 batsmen when the game is reduced to a 5-run chase. We saw that, of course, in the match against Barbados Tridents, St. Lucia Zooks.
Yeah, listen, I mean, look, I know my dad used to tell me all the time that we can't do better right now than the Duckworth Lewis system, but that cannot be right. Yeah. There's no way that you can give a team 47 runs to win with all 10 wickets in hand and not expect them to win. If you give them 8 wickets, they'll still win the match. If you give them 7 wickets, they'll still win the match. So there's some flaws within Duckworth Lewis. I'm not criticizing the Duckworth Lewis system here, but all I'm saying is that we have some kinks to work out for the past 15, 20, 30, 50 years with Duckworth Lewis system that has to be rolled out. But it's when I saw that game, and I could just imagine the frustration on the players. 10 wickets for 47 runs in 5 overs. It's impossible for you to lose.
Yeah, but right on a brighter note, of course, it's Friday, as some may say. It's the weekend. TKR doing well. Our friend Sunil Narayan, of course, back-to-back 50s. Your thoughts going forward? I mean, we've seen in the history of the TKR, we've seen where, as we saw with Guyana Amazon Warriors, even last year, they went on an unbeaten run until the finals and then lost it in the final. TKR benefit is, of course, when they win the toss and they elect to field first. What's your thoughts going forward and predictions?
My thoughts is exactly your thoughts. I 100% agree with you, and like how you put that, you could go unbeaten all the way through the tournament, and the one match that actually matters, you lose. and you end up with absolutely nothing like the guy on Amazon Warriors last year. Of course, it pays to be consistent. You should always strive to be consistent. You should always strive to win every match. But, this thing about peaking at the right time is something that, we truly believe in sport, not just for the Olympic Games. And I think the most important thing for TKR will be to ensure that coming down to the back end of the matches, that the performances from Sunil Narayan, like you mentioned, he scored 250s already for this tournament, that he doesn't lose that.
Yeah.
That'll be key.
All right, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'll see you in a bit. Ryan Beatrice there speaking to us about all things CPL.